them in the dressing room, you know what I expect of you. Defend yourselves at all times, watch those heads when you're in close. Touch gloves, good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, 10 3-minute rounds for the vacant WBO International Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Malik Scott is unbeaten. Most heavyweights average something like 20 jabs per round. Malik Scott averages nearly 30. He's a slickster, he can box, and he's yet to be beaten. Chisora needs to get on his chin right from the start. It's an intriguing matchup between a fighter in Chisora who's aggressive, front foot, and who's experienced and has the better pedigree, with a guy who can box, has talent, and we don't quite know how good he is. Has he been avoided, or has he been protected? That's what we find out about Malik Scott tonight.
Well, I've watched him a few times, Alex, and he is really skillful. Just seen he's an orthodox fighter, but he'd come out as a southpaw, just changed back now, but he's mega talented, and he's not worried about the crowd. He's happy just to box behind the jab. As you said yourself, he throws maybe 10 more jabs per round compared to the average heavyweight. Very tall, very accurate. So Derek needs to be where he is now. He needs to start fast and to get on his chest, keep dipping those shoulders, keep bending those legs, rolling forward, working hard, making Scott trying to push him back, trying to punch him back.
And we know Chisora can do that. First time really in recent years you've seen Vitaly Klitschko so bothered, so troubled, so huffed and puffed. And although David Haye came out on top last summer in that Upton Park extravaganza, he was puffing. He was made to work for every inch of that victory.
It's good from Derek. He had to eat the jab on his way in, but he paid Scott back with two nice body shots.
Good uppercut too.
The thing about Scott, he places his punches. He don't usually drive him in at times. I don't think either of these heavyweights are massive punchers for the heavyweight division.
Big right handle, and Scott just shrugs it off with a smile. Again, this is exactly it. Chisora's in shape to effect this sort of fight. Amazing to think he's nearly 20 pounds lighter than he was the night he fought Tyson Fury.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? He let himself down that night, I think, coming in overweight and not as fit as he has been recently, but he's looking sharp tonight. I know Scott likes to fight off the ropes, and he fights off the ropes quite well, but that's where Derek wants him, most definitely.
And if Chisora lets his hands go like he has been when he gets up close, and more so the better, that will reflect on the scorecards. If Scott's to win, he's got to win clearly.
Oh, lovely hook there.
There's been two of those this round, Barry. Two delicious left hooks to the body from Scott.
But Scott already with a welting with his right eye, Alex. Don't know whether that was from a punch or a head. Oh, good round.
Tight first round. They both had the successes. How did you see it?
I couldn't split them, to be honest. I thought Scott started off well, Derek came back into it, and then Scott finished quite well at the end, a nice little combination.
Is he going to be like this every round?
Well, this is what Derek wants. He wants it close, I guess. He wants to use his weight, strength, rough Scott up. The fact that Scott already has a little bit of a swelling under his right eye will be encouraging signs for Derek Chisora.
Scott's trying to put a bit more meat into his punches there on the back foot to try and halt this Chisora charge. Amazing to think that Del Boy has actually lost 3 of his last 4 and amazingly 4 of his last 6, but those have been high level. And you just see that mouse under the right eye of Malik Scott.
But Derek just can't switch off. He needs to just keep constantly closing the gap. He doesn't want to be. He wants to be in that 3/4 range constantly, all the time on his chest. Keep dipping the legs, moving the head, rolling the shoulders when he's coming forward.
The last month, Chisora's been pumped up by the prospect of this fight. Can cannot afford to lose to a guy who's good and has an excellent record. But largely, many people will say, who's he?
It's a little bit scrappy, isn't it? Not many punches landing clean.
And Alex Scott actually drew back in February with Vyacheslav Glazkov, the unbeaten Ukrainian, bronze medalist in the Olympics once upon a time. I think many people feel that he was a bit unlucky not to get the decision that night.
Oh, he was more than lucky, Alex. I thought he won 8 out of 10 rounds that night.
So it's not quite been able to land any punches this round.
It's taking too long, isn't he, to get close to Scott. So nice little whipping shots and nice little 1-2s with whipping uppercuts, but Chisora's coming in.
Chisora's got the stamina, we know that. It's been 12 rounds on several occasions. Scott has been 10 rounds only 3 times. It's only really recent years he's been stepping up from 6 and 8 round distances. That tells you how his career has progressed, or not, as the case is.
Yeah, it's been a funny career, hasn't it? But for me, I think that was a round for Malik Scott.
Took Lamont Brewster to that win over Vladimir Klitschko some, 9 years ago.
Yeah, he's a colourful character and all, isn't he? Jesse Reed here, very vocal, but talks a lot of sense, and I think he was right. I think Scott boxed quite well that last round. But Derek, he's going to have to give away some of these rounds, against the sharper boxer with the longer reach. But just putting pressure, tiring him out, making Scott work all the time. And he's hoping that he's going to come into the fight in the second half.
Well, that's it. These early exchanges are going to be more difficult while Scott is fresh and able to use his skills. So he's going to rely on that engine and fitness, focus, strength.
A sort of flashy combination there from Scott, not much weight behind it though. And he spins up the rope very well, doesn't he? He's better from Derek. I know he's not throwing any punches, but he's not being a target for Scott to let those combinations, those flurries go. Just moving his head, changing the angle of attack.
Scott turned pro when he was 21 years old back in 2000. He did have a bit of a hiatus, 3.5 years out with a bicep injury between 2008 and 2012. Not lost any of the sharpness of skills though.
Nice little 1-2 there from Derek though, with Malik on the ropes. He sits on the ropes well, doesn't Malik Scott, and he evades punches quite well, but because Chisora's a looping puncher, it's hard to slip those shots sometimes.
Chisora's not landed a thing hardly this round so far. And Scott is tying up Chisora in those clinches as well. They were hurling insults at each other in the build-up to this. Every time you come up against a decent fighter, you get beat, said Scott.
Well, Chisora's answer could be, you haven't fought a decent fighter yet.
Absolutely right, that was the response. Certainly a noisy, eye-catching left hand from Chisora.
Well, it was a landing shot, but it was an open glove. I think that's why it made the noise. Just a little bit of a slap, wasn't it?
Just the sense at the end of this round that Scott is trying to wind his punches up a little, and sometimes they're travelling further, and sometimes that happens when a fighter gets tired. We keep an eye. And there you see some of those quick combinations, finishing on the uppercut from Scott. They didn't really land.
Oh, they go hold in, and Derek still got through with the uppercut, to be fair, but yeah, he whips some uppercuts in, doesn't he, Scott? He throws nice 1-2 straight shots and whips him in.
Round 4.
Don Charles in the Chisora corner. They know each other so well, imploring Chisora to make a big effort. Big shout of "come on Derek" from the rafters. He's trying, he's up against the slick guy.
Yeah, Scott just changed direction, isn't he? Just when Derek's following him round rather than cutting the ring off, he just changed direction.
As ever, Scott's going to have to do enough to persuade the judges that he is doing enough. And the second half of the fight could be very, very interesting. Better from Chisora. Scott just laughs it off, but body work from Chisora. Crowd getting into it now.
Chisora just took a little hook there, coming in off Scott.
Back comes Scott. Good defence from Chisora, digging under those swinging punches.
He takes a shot well as well, doesn't he? So he's not too worried about having to take Malik's hooks.
Now, there's plenty of money for Scott apparently all week with the bookies. Some of it apparently to win by stoppage. It seems an extraordinary punt given Chisora's chin.
And his knockout ratio as well. Yeah, it seems really strange.
But the money for him to win full stop, not entirely misplaced on what we've seen so far.
He's boxing quite well, but like I said, Derek knew he was going to give away these early rounds, I think.
A couple of warnings from the referee for Scott.
The left hook to the body, but Chisora had to take a left hook on the chin.
I just sense this round though that Chisora starting to make a little bit of an impression. He's making Scott work, and these might just be little building blocks for later in the fight.
Oh, good body shot there from Derek. But he's closing the gap, isn't he, Alex? That's the most important thing.
And all those body shots as well. Whether Scott shrugs them off, smiles them away or not, doesn't matter. Just depleting the energy resources in this fight. He's liable to go late on. Good round that for Chisora.
Yeah, good.
Just some more, yeah? Much better.
Turns out, round 5.
Frank Warren trying to urge Chisora forward. Excellent insight into the corner there. Investment was the word from Don Charles. I said little building blocks, that was a better word.
Yeah.
Investing with the body work.
The body work and the pressure, you know, you want to make a boxer, a technical boxer, a gifted boxer like Malik Scott, work hard, tire him out.
Ooh, that was good, very nice from Scott. Quick 1-2 with the uppercut, and again.
But the good thing for Derek is, even though he's getting caught with these shots coming in, and another lovely hook uppercut he just got caught with. The second half of the round, at the end of the round, he's working hard and then swaying maybe some of these rounds in his favour. Could happen that way.
And Chisora's the one coming forward. It's been a frenetic pace, and you just sense Chisora will be happier with that.
But Scott, you've got to keep throwing that jab out, Malik Scott, doesn't he? Got to keep Derek on the end of the punches, got to come at long range. That's better from Derek. I was just about to say he needs more head movement.
Scott managing to dance his way out of trouble. Heavily tattooed American. He was a stellar amateur once upon a time as well. He won a bronze at the 1997 Junior Olympics. Although his professional career hasn't hit the same heights, if he could beat Derek Chisora, Suddenly he's launched forward just like Tony Thompson in the twilight of his career.
Well, he should have been there already, shouldn't he, really? Not the fights he's had and wins he's had.
Time is pressing. Turns 33 in October, Scott.
Oh, some good work again there from Scott. And Derek's just not moving his head enough. I think he needs sharper movements when he's coming forward. Just overreaching there with that right hand over the top.
He's had the final minute of the fifth. We're already at halfway, can you believe? The movement from Chisora, good footwork. Scott's done well to tie Chisora up when they've got close.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he?
That's it from Chisora, much better. Good energy.
The problem with it is they're good movements and they're good tactics, but that takes a lot out of you. That's the only reason why he's not doing that all the time. But dipping the shoulders and with sharp movements, that's probably a better tactic for Derek. Oh, if this guy could punch.
That was sharp. Fast punches and then the movement away to dance out of reach as well. Jesse Reed saying this is where you take over to Malik Scott, and most of us are thinking, hoping it's the other way around. Here comes the pressure from Chisora, and Scott just leaning back on those ropes and then tying his man up.
Good work there from Derek.
And the crowd roaring Chisora forward, and there's some taunting from Scott. I won't repeat that, but I think he was suggesting that Chisora's not punching very hard.
Well, he cuts for the shots, doesn't he, a lot, Derek? He, like the other clubs, or he cuts for them. So some of them don't carry a lot of weight, some of them do. And even though Scott's holding there, I think Derek's just smothering his work slightly, isn't he? Just needs to take a half a step back.
Not so much though from Scott in this round. He's been landing those eye-catching punches. And even though those are on the sort of shoulder and whatnot, Chisora's going to make an impression. He's enjoying himself a bit more again here.
Yeah, from the back of the arena though, that right hand looked like it landed, didn't it? Just got Malik Scott on the shoulder.
Chisora looking to throw that straight jab to the body, just to get himself into range.
It's the constant pressure though that has really just made Scott just slow down a little bit, hasn't it?
Inside the final minute, Chisora's probably on top so far. And this fight is just swung and fro through each round.
He's a little flurry now, doesn't he, Derek Chisora?
It's quite cute, Scott, isn't he? He just sort of angles his body away, so he never really takes one clean. Down on the ropes, he's gone down. Scott, he's gone down, he takes the count. He looks to his corner. Frank Warren's on his feet in the far side. Son Francis, is he getting up? He's counted out! What has he done? He's mistaken the count, and Malik Scott counted out in a fight he was probably winning.
Well, a bizarre ending, wasn't it? It wasn't a heavy knockdown. It seemed like he was taking the counts, wanted to get up at 8, left it too late, and the referee had no choice but to stop it. But it was a disappointing end, because it was just warming up, wasn't it?
It certainly was. There's no doubt Malik Scott has got his faculties. He knows exactly where he was, and the truth is, he was probably cleared on the cards by a couple of rounds. We'll have to see the tape again. But where the count was and where his knee was, but he stayed down for an awful long time for a fighter who seemed to be okay.
Yeah, well, he's done the right thing. You stay down till 8. You know, you make the most. You know, you make the much of the rest as you possibly can. But he obviously mistimed it terribly, and you know, the referee counts to 10. He got no choice, did he, to wave it off, whether you're hurt or not. But a shame, because that was really, really warming up into a cracking little contest.
Real shame. That was brewing up nicely, and you sensed those last 3 or so rounds were going to be nip and tuck, and the story was still to avoid. And it was a big right hand over the top.
Yeah, I don't think he was megally hurt or anything like that. He wasn't seriously hurt. Caught him, you know, I think he just disorientated him slightly. Done the right thing. He wasn't hurt. You can see him smiling. He's fine. He's aware of what's happening. If anything, he might have just lost his balance, but I don't think that shot landed really clean. But anyway, he took the count. He took the count fine.
Smiled initially when he managed to gather himself. There's no doubt that right hand did sort of land almost on the top of the head of the year. Seemed to lose his left leg forward.
I honestly think
5, 6, 7, 8 is the count. 9 and a bit, 9.5 to 10.
It's a close call, isn't it?
The thing is, you just don't give the referee that opportunity.
And also, that's slow motion one. So, you know, you're saying it looked like 9, like you got about 9, but obviously, you know, he's counting 9, 10 in normal speed. That's a second, obviously. So
he's trying to get back up at 9. But it was simply too late, and what a waste for Malik Scott, and what a shame for us, because that fight was brewing up.
Hey, but listen, that's a win for Derek, and he's back in contention for any title that's going.
It was a must-win for Chisora, and it was a fight that wasn't going entirely to the script.
And even though, you know, I think Scott was winning, Derek's tactics were good. He was making him work, he was tiring him out, so you know, it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that he would have won that fight anyway.
Right, let's get final full confirmation of it from up in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes 56 seconds of round 6, Malik Scott has failed to beat the referee's count. The winner and the new WBO International Heavyweight Champion from Finchley, London, in the blue corner, Derek Del Boy Chisora. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the gallant Malik Scott. Derek Chisora will now be presented with the belt.